DJ just getting off vacation. I got you. Nope. Right here, remember.
Good afternoon, my fellow villagers. I tell you, I'm praying for a peaceful new year. Now, I'll not ask you, how are you? Because, I begin to notice that the responses sometimes confuse me, and I think that it could be because of the times we are in today, which for me sort of demands a little more scrutiny of the question, which I feel needs to be a little more considered, I was with some friends yesterday after church, and the greeting was typical. How are you? And the reply was typical. For Christians, God is good all the time. Now, as a believer, myself, believing that God is a good God all the time, that was a good answer for God. But what does that say about our circumstances? How are you? Truth be told, we mortals are not good all the time.
That's right.
And of course, my friend and I began talking, my friends, we were all in conversation, we was talking about the state of affairs. That's what we come to. Trump, overthrowing governments.
Yes.
Snatching babies from parents, sending armies in on citizens. Then someone said, but God will not put more on you than you can bear. Now, being a bona fide believer, true child of God, filled with the Holy Ghost, I understand the nuance of that response, but for the sake of our non-believers, or those who may not be as holy, saved, and sanctified as some of us, there needs to be a little more clarification. So I went to the scripture, Matthew 27:46. It reads in Hebrew, and I'm not good at Hebrew, so it's a Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. And in English, that simply means, my God, why have you forsaken me?
Yes.
Now, that was Jesus going to the cross before the resurrection. But after the resurrection, Jesus was sure that God had not forsaken him, but that he had been chosen for a purpose. Now, since none of us come even close to the redemptive sensitivities of Jesus, it's natural that we may or would admit that 2025 left us with questions. And one might just be, my Lord, why have you forsaken me? But since we know the history of our Lord and Savior, we can rest assured that we have not been forsaken and that there are better plans ahead for us. And as a senior from the silent generation, that's 80 and above, I'm still not telling you my age, I have lived through many seasons of injustices in this country. I have seen laws written against us,
Yes.
silence used against us,
Yes.
and violence used against us. I have lived through segregation, through token integration, through promises delayed and justice denied. But I must say this plainly and emphatically. I have never seen a moment like 2025.
Yes.
It can't get worse. But 2025 was not a year of hidden injustices. 2025 was not a year of coded languages or polite deception. In 2025, injustice no longer pretended to be fair. When the president makes no pretense, when the Supreme Court makes no pretense, when legislation makes no pretense, when the very structures, policies meant to guard justice stop pretending to do so, then we are no longer debating policy. We are confronting truth. But I believe this time now, the truth will set us free. Because someone said change only comes when truth is spoken aloud.
Amen.
And your president has spoken his truth very, very loud.
Yes.
But the real truth is this: a nation that abandons the appearance of justice has already abandoned its soul.
Absolutely.
And again, I have lived long enough to know that injustice always tests how much people will tolerate injustice.
Right.
You know, injustice now has followed us, the African Americans, over 400 years in this country. And although we were promised justice after the Civil War, which came like thunder, yeah, we were free, only for a spell. And then the rain came, but not to pour down justice, but injustice that kept us in bondage for over a long many years. The mask of justice was quickly loosening, bringing forth the KKK, the lynching, Jim Crow, Bloody Sunday, Goldwater, Bull Connors, then another pretense of justice. President Kennedy, Johnson, civil rights, but then another law. You know, whenever we make progress, there's a white backlash.
Yes.
So we brought in Reagan, Nixon, Bush. Then we got another little break. We got our first black president, Barack Hussein Obama. Oh, my. We thought we had made it then. Brought in Joe Biden. He was a good man.
Mm-hmm.
And then the mask came off totally.
Yes.
The dam broke. And what came spewing out? Satan raised its ugly head. Now everything is out in the open. That's where we are now. So when I say it can't get worse, I do not mean suffering cannot deepen. I mean the mask has fully fallen. And when the mask falls, a reckoning must follow.
Mm-hmm.
That's why 2026 must bring something different. Not cosmetic change, nor recycled promises, nor another call for patience for people who have already waited centuries. 2026 must bring universal courage. It must bring a people who refuse to normalize that which should never be acceptable. I'm not speaking theory, I'm speaking fact. And I'm not speaking fantasy, I'm speaking reality. I have lived too long, seen too much, and survived too much to be silent now. History is watching us.
Absolutely.
And future generations will ask the question, what we did when justice stopped pretending.
Absolutely.
There's not a lot any of us can do individually, but collectively, we can slay the dragon. We have at our option the vote, if that is not taken away from us. See, what I'm trying to do amongst the doom and gloom is to present an option, an opportunity for each of us to take. Commit ourselves to at least 5 other persons to go to the poll to vote. That will be enough. You will be answering the question that our ancestors, you know, I talk about this one all the time. The great Joe Madison would always ask, what you going to do about it?
Absolutely.
That can be your answer. And that will also make sure we give our future generation an answer worth inheriting.
Yes.
Because I tell you all the time, we are coming from a generation that had given us direction, given us answers by which we can move forward on.
Right.
Well, believe me, there are generations coming after us going to be looking for answers and going to look around and say, what did you do?
Exactly.
What did you do about it?
Exactly.
So we're in a position now where we got to make decisions. We got to be intentional. We got to be focused. We got to know that we have a job to do. And as it might seem undaunting and seem hopeless, it's really not. We've always managed. We always came through. You know, we weren't birthed from the greatest human beings on earth to not be able to overcome what we're going through now. It's not going to be easy, obviously, but we just got to do it. Now I want to thank my team. I want to thank Sheila Bird, producer. I want to thank Juanita McClure, my advisor. And of course, I want to thank my promo crew, my little ones who helped me get this thing on the road. And of course, Norm, my engineer. He's always on point, on time.
Absolutely.
And I don't know what I'd do without my co-host, Rose Moore. Thank her.
Happy New Year, villagers, and
yes,
welcome
yes,
back.
yes, yes, yes. So I'm excited today. We have a great guest waiting for you.
Yes, we do.
But before we do that, I want to, you all know I'm excited about my new book, my first children book. And it's out, it's in press.
Yes.
I advised you last week to go and call. Yep, right. It's at Amazon as we speak. You can get it from any one of your bookstores. If you call in, if they don't have it, at least you can encourage them to bring it in. Call your library. Call wherever you get your books from. As for the book, What's in a Name?
Yes.
Must we tell everybody? And I don't know if, Norm, do you have that so we can present it?
That clip.
The book, What's in a Name, my new book? Okay.
Which is released
Now, I want you all to pay close attention. I want you to listen to the music, whatever is accompanying it, because I'm going to be talking about the young lady who put all this stuff together after it goes off. So pay particular attention. It is fantastic. All right, Norm, let's go with it.
Sticks and stones can bruise the skin, but words go deeper, they sink within. A whisper soft or a shout so loud can lift you up or break you down. A single word can feel like rain, wash away the deepest pain, or it can burn like fire inside, a wound no one can see from outside. Words can harm or heal, they can break or they can build. What we speak, what we say, can change your heart in just one day. Use them wisely, let them shine, let your voice be warm and kind. Every word is powerful and real, because words can harm or heal. Things said years ago, some were heavy, some made us glow. A gentle phrase can calm the storm, a cruel one leaves the spirit torn. So let's choose love over fear, speak with truth and make it clear. We're planting seeds with every line. Let's grow a garden full of kind. Speak life like sunlight through the trees. Speak hope like waves upon the sea. Let forgiveness be the song you sing. Let your kindness be the gift you bring. Words can harm or heal, lift a soul or make it kneel. Every voice, every sound can turn a moment all around.
was totally taken aback. I knew the book was going to be great. I wrote it. But seriously, I had no idea that what she put behind it, what she supported it with, just fantastic. I am just overjoyed. I'm going to read a little bit of who she is, Sabrina Crumpton. She's my publisher. Her works are Almitee Works, Almitee. So take notice of this because I want you to keep it in your mind when you need something. Helping authors, creative, and entrepreneurs bring their stories to life. And she's bringing my book to life. Services include writing and script writing, editing and proofreading, publishing support, book trailers for marketing with personalized music. You just heard that. Music, I had no idea would be put behind that book. Marketing and materials, flyers, promos, branded content. From idea to launch, Almitee Works turns visions into polished, impactful work. Now you can contact her, AW at ALMITEEWORKS.com. Again, AW at ALMITEEWORKS.com. AW at almateeworks.com. Fantastic. I am overjoyed, and I want you all to stay noticed. I was just talking with someone before I left, and I was hoping that she would get back to me before I got here, because I'm going to be setting up a book signing as soon as possible. Our library here in Plainfield is under construction, and I understand it's not going to be finished until another month or so.
Give them the name of it, Sindles.
Well, no, the book, not the book. She's not going to be doing it. I'm going to be doing it at the Performing Arts Center.
Wow, that's even greater.
Performing Arts Center, and I was waiting for the
That's
lady
even
to get back to
nicer.
me, the young lady to get back to me, but somehow I missed it. But you all be listening out, and in the meantime, the way we want to move this is you call your whoever you get your books from. If I prefer black bookstores, but if that's not the case, we know Amazon has it because that's where I publish it through. Amazon, call them, and as soon and quickly as you can, we want to make a bestseller out of this. All
I
right?
wouldn't mind.
Okay, I hear that. I'm excited today. No, there was another little thing I wanted to bring before I brought my guest on. Something else I just committed, book signing. Okay, that was it. We're excited today. My
Yes,
co-host
we
and
are.
I.
Yes, we are. Yes, we
Uh-huh.
are.
When we decided that we would resume, for the last couple of weeks, we've been just kind of here doing whatever we do ourselves. But then Rose advised me that she had a guest that she knew we would be excited to bring on, had things that were very much about what we're talking about, because there's ancestor always there. What you're going to do about it? When you're in a situation, what you're going to do about it? And it takes all of us to know that there's something we all can do. It may not be the thing I'm doing or you doing or whoever, but whatever you're doing could be very helpful for creating, bringing our village together, helping in some way. So that's when Rose introduced me to this young lady that we're going to bring in front of you now. I was one of the reasons, because it was very reminiscent of my own experience. Very reminiscent of my own experience, and I'm sure when you hear her, you can say that about the majority of us as African
we can
people have gone through certain things.
Right.
So without further ado, we're going to bring on our exciting guest who's doing great work.
Yes, I am so excited and so graciously, pleasurably excited about meeting you.
Yes.
I heard so much about you, but most of all because I respect and honor the courage and just your stance, So I'm going to read your bio, and then Ruby and I are going to let you tell your story.
Yes.
What
Go.
you
What a
did
story
about
you
it.
got.
Yes. Nancy Glover serves as an executive director of Cole's Hope, a nonprofit organization dedicated to supporting justice-impacted youth and their families. Her leadership is deeply rooted in her own journey as a mother of Cole, who was incarcerated at just 15 years old. Walking with her son through the challenges, the trauma, the barriers of the juvenile justice system sparked her lifelong commitment to advocacy, healing, and community empowerment. Drawing from personal experience, Nancy brings an authentic, compassionate, and community-centered approach to her work. She works to ensure that families feel seen, supported, and connected to those resources they deserve. Under her guidance, Cole Hopes provides membership, reentry assistance, family support, second chance opportunity for young people whose voices are often, that we know so well, have experienced so much, are too often unheard.
Exactly.
Nancy is passionately focused on building partnerships with schools, community centers, local leaders, justice agencies to expand holistic support for her impacted youth. Her mission is clear: to change the narrative, open doors of opportunity, and create pathways of hope so young people can reclaim their futures and family can heal together. With a heart of service and a vision shaped by lived experience, Nancy leads Cole's Hope with resilience, integrity, and unwavering belief in the community of power.
Excellent. So often, and I know we all probably can relate in some way to her story, because we are left just hopeless when we get into situations. And that's, as I said before, I can relate so well. I had two brothers who, when I was very young, I'm a Southern girl, very Southern from Florida, raised there, my whole family. These two young men came up north to be with my other sibling, and they got caught up in this justice system and was accused of murder. And at that time, we didn't even have a sense of how to even go through anything. My parents down south, sharecroppers, and didn't have the means or the know-how to get anything done for them. But it was a case where it went even up to the Supreme Court, so these poor country boys got caught up in there, even went to the Supreme Court, so it was something that somebody had some questions about.
Yes.
They were falsely accused, but was nothing they could do about it. We didn't have the money, we didn't have the know-how, we didn't have the common, well, I won't say common sense, because yours is doing a whole lot of other things, but we didn't have the idea of where to go, how to do it, and they spent all that time in jail, and this is known that they really didn't commit the crime that they were charged with. I'm so impressed with you, because we do know that there are organizations out there that come in and help, but you are the mother of someone who was incarcerated. So you put yourself out to act as the advocate. That is impressive, because that's what we need to push other folks going. So we want to hear your story as you want to tell it.
Well, ladies, thank you so much for having me. This is a wonderful opportunity. And I just wanted to start off by saying that Cole's Hope is something that we're in the beginning stages, but it's no longer just about me or my son. What we're looking to do is to help young people between the ages of 12 and 17 become reacclimated into society. And a lot of times what happens when a child goes to prison, well, we know what happens when a husband or a brother or when someone goes to prison, they're grown men. And the expectation is that when they come out, that the first thing that the family is looking to say to them is, you need to get a job. You need to get a job, and you need to help start, if you have children, to begin taking care of those children.
Right.
But when a child goes to prison,
Right.
a juvenile, between the ages of 12 and 17, what we've also come to find out is that mentally they are unable to fully wrap around their heads as to what is going to happen while they're going through the system. So they're not fully equipped mentally to experience, not only experience what they're going to experience, but to get through it
Yes.
without some type of therapy once
Yes,
they've been
absolutely,
released.
absolutely.
I know it because I experienced it.
Right.
While my child was incarcerated, I fully went into depression.
Yeah.
And when people use the word, oh, I'm just depressed, no. This type of depression will lead you to dark places. And I will say that it was my faith that brought me through this fully.
Always.
It strengthened me. And once my son, who went to prison at the age of 15 for an iPhone and $100 and was looking at 25 years, it was nothing but grace and mercy that brought him out after
My God.
almost 4 years.
Praise the Lord.
I'm not going to sit and give that entire story, but it was all the way God. That is all I can say. The way that he ended up coming out, but the blessing behind it is that Cole has not gone back.
Praise the Lord.
A lot of times, what we need and what these children need is the backing of family.
Yes.
Right,
But
absolutely.
But if the
Support system.
family does not understand how to deal with the child, then you've got angry parents and grandparents, aunts, uncles, and then you've got the child who is angry because he doesn't even understand
Right.
that the world has gone on without him.
That's
Right.
right. That's right. That's
For
right.
my son at age 15, when he came out, when he went in, they were using the debit card and they were swiping. When he came out, they were tapping.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
my
the
God.
changing.
It was definitely a change for him. He still is going through things, and and at the same time, he has helped himself get through a lot. But we have been there to support him, not just myself, but his extended family, his
Yes,
father.
it takes a village.
It definitely takes a village, which is why one of the reasons that God led me to put together Cole's Hope is it is so that we can get the families to understand that you had a child. He is now technically an adult, but he has childlike
That's
tendencies
right. Absolutely.
that have followed him even into adulthood.
Absolutely.
We have family members that need to know how to cope with that.
Right.
And we also want them to be able to give them some grace as they become
Those
acclimated.
missing years of
Yes.
development.
Absolutely. So what we're doing with Cole's Hope is we're offering on the mental side, we're offering therapy.
Oh,
Very good. Very good.
Okay?
Very
But
needed.
they also need skills.
Yes. Yes.
So we're also going to be hiring a sous chef who will give them culinary art skills, not just something so that he can go in and be someone's cook.
Right.
That's easy. You can go
Right.
into McDonald's and
Right.
learn how
and
to do
flip
that.
burgers. Right.
What we want is for them to be certified with a skill
Yes.
so that they're able to go into the industry, work in a hotel,
Yeah.
work in a fine restaurant, and have that certification behind them. We also want them to be able to learn how to manage their money. It's imperative that they learn how to manage money.
Right.
We want them to be able to also be able to learn how to adapt social skills.
Right.
That's what the therapist will be able to assist them in doing. So there's so many other different things that we want to go forward with, but these are just the beginning stages.
Right, right.
I also want to let everyone know that Cole was incarcerated in the state of Georgia,
Okay.
in Gwinnett County. They do not play. Okay, when you speak of incarceration amongst these young people, I don't believe that they understand what it means. A lot of them have no value for life. Okay, but my child was charged with 4 other individuals, all under the age of 17, for an iPhone and $100. But because there was a group of them, they considered them a gang, which brought on more charges, which implemented more charges.
Who would have thought?
I certainly wouldn't have. I could not. You couldn't have told me that was what was going foreseeable, how my child was, his life was going to be. But God is good.
Yes, He is.
And He brought me out of this and has given me the tools based on my, former positions that I have held in the past, and has given me not only the tools, but has given me the courage and definitely the ambition to make sure that mothers, fathers, that we understand what it means to become incarcerated. What I would like to see, and Georgia is now looking towards a new governor, and hopefully she will get in.
Yes.
What I would like to see is that they begin to take a closer look on what it means for a juvenile and the juvenile justice system within that state. But not only that, one of the beautiful things that has been able to occur in New Jersey is the ability for their charges to be expunged.
Yes.
Now, that is something that going in towards the future that I will be looking to get assistance through the ministry, as well as lawyers that will be looking the same way that my church does right now.
Right.
Shout out to First Baptist
Shout
Church of
out
Lincoln
to
Gardens
First
Shout out
and
to
Pastor
First
Quick,
Baptist.
And all they do in the
that they do
community.
and they have
Yes,
been
yes,
doing
yes.
to help with the expungement of formerly incarcerated individuals.
Yes.
Right.
That's what I would like to see going forward in Georgia.
Yeah. So what has been the response just in general?
Well, the response has been really, really positive. There are
Great.
people that are just, they're waiting for us to get it up and running.
Okay.
I will be focusing primarily on DeKalb County, Fulton County, and Gwinnett County. Those 3 counties, because there's such a large population of individuals that are incarcerated. And so that's what I'm looking to do. I have several friends that are therapists that are in Georgia that are going to be giving not of their time freely, but as we move forward,
Right, absolutely.
that they will be looking to join us. I already have a board of directors.
Fantastic.
Okay.
I'll be flying down to Georgia next week to formally swear them all in.
Okay.
So we are moving forward.
It is great. You have a grant writer?
I have a grant writer.
Great.
We are waiting for the IRS to fully make us a nonprofit so that we can move forward and begin fundraising.
Fantastic.
But this is something that I am so proud of.
I'm so proud of you.
Because when you get it going, then you're going to do it again in Jersey.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
what can the public do as we speak now, just so people looking in and hearing what you're saying? What's that? What will be their position right now? What can they help you with?
Well, as far as just to I would say keep your children close. I know that we talk about the word and we speak about God and we speak about all of these different things as far as what motivates our children. We need to talk to them about incarceration.
Yes.
We need for them to understand it can happen to any of you at any time. Just being in the
For
wrong.
nothing, just being
For
there.
absolutely nothing.
Look at Trayvon Martin.
Okay.
He was just coming home from the store.
Oh, there's a whole line and list. We can just run it down. one of the things we have to always be conscious, and sometimes we want to kind of sheer away from it. We have to know, let our children know too. Seriously, there's a double standard because sometimes they get
Yes.
confused.
Yes.
They are
Yes.
with their other friends who
Yes.
are not necessarily African American. They
Right.
think they can do the same thing they can do.
Right.
That is just not the case.
That is not
Right.
the case.
Because what they do and can get away with it, you can do half
Yes.
and be put away forever.
Yes.
So they have to understand that, because if we keep that away from them, then they will internalize it from a position that they are doing something
Right.
other than what other folks are doing. It's not that you're doing
That is
anything
true.
different. It's that you're being singled out, you're targeted from the jump. So you got to be doubly careful when you go out amongst wherever you are, young people.
I think we also need to as parents, as adults, we should learn that you shouldn't ostracize the parents or blame the parents directly for what the child has done.
Oh, never.
I lost quite a few friends behind this. It was almost as if it was a divorce,
Right.
a second divorce,
Yeah.
because
Human nature. People judge
people judge.
without having any
I have
facts
judged.
or anything.
And more than that, my podcast here is strictly about the whole idea of knowing who we are inside of other folks or outside of other folks. Let's be honest and clear. What's happening to us is so uniquely different, and if we
Right.
don't understand it from that perspective,
Right.
we will throw our own selves away, because we'll
Right.
begin to blame, and we'll begin to say you shouldn't have, or you
Right.
should, and some things you shouldn't have done.
I think a lot of times that people don't understand
Right.
that when a woman of color goes through a divorce, the all likelihood that she ends up in poverty
Yeah.
is stronger, much
Yeah.
stronger than
Yeah.
those
Absolutely.
outside of our race.
Right.
Absolutely.
Not only that, they look at the mother as to not only be the breadwinner,
Yeah. To
But-
be everything.
she's got to be everything.
Yeah.
It was when Cole and I ended up in Georgia, I thought I was doing the best thing that I possibly could for him.
I know.
I believed after a divorce, and even I had his father's blessing
Mm-hmm.
to move.
Mm-hmm.
It was a time when what I really should have been concentrating on was my child's mental stability.
Mm-hmm.
But I was going through something as
Right.
well.
That's
Right.
right.
And if we're not right,
Mm-hmm.
we can't do right
Exactly. Or make the choices.
or make the choices, the necessary
Exactly.
choices.
Exactly.
And another thing that I think that we need to do is that we need to also, when we are in another relationship, going after a divorce, we have to bring our children close to us
Yes.
and make sure that as a woman that we are whole again
Yes.
and that we're ready
Right.
to date or even to bring someone into our children's lives.
Right.
It's important that we make better choices.
Absolutely.
I'm not here to.
But we're human.
We're right. You're right. We're
We're
human.
human.
And we are human living. I can never cease from saying this, because this is what the podcast is all about. We are human living in a society so alien from what a normal set of human beings
so-
would be expected to contend with. No one in this society contend with what the African American person does.
None.
So that affect us, the kids, and the whole nine yards. So until we keep that in our mind and keep going on that, not to make excuses, because in my book I talk about the two words, excuse and explanation. I don't even use the word excuse for us.
Right.
Excuse and explanation. Excuse is when you can do something outside of what you're doing that had nothing to do with any kind of psychological, or whatever situation you found yourself in. Explanation is what you do to explain how you did it and where it might have come from. And I contend that since we have never been tested, we have never been, first of all, my podcast says I'm an unapologetic amateur looking for experts in Africanism. intentional means a lot, because what I'm trying to say is that until we are seen as people who have been damaged and need some repair in our group, much more than anyone else that we know, then we are going to continue to make the decisions and mistakes or whatever, and our children will obviously do so too,
Yes.
under the impression that it coming from a natural source. I mean, coming from just an what you would call it, maybe an unblemished type of source. But we have been blemished. We have been had. We have been done up with, and so it's generational. A lot of folks think that what happened to us 400 years ago is history. That's not history.
Right.
History is the Holocaust. History is some other things, but not what happened to us. It's ongoing. It was generational.
Right,
So when you see our children or whatever acting out in ways that might surprise a lot of people and everything, it shouldn't be a surprise, because it's just maybe the result of what we didn't intend to. And what I'm trying to say with my podcast, until we get to the fact that we have our experts, and I mean experts in Africanism, not just expert. We have a lot of experts around. I have my mechanic that came in and fixed my car the expert. Has nothing to do with Africanism. He is an African man, but he's not an expert in that. I tell anybody that I'm an expert in living black, because I live black every day. All this stuff we going through, what your son going through, that's living black. But an expert in black living, that's a whole another kettle of worms. That means you got to know the ins, the outs, the rise, the what, the when, what happened to us, why it affected us, how it affected us, and what results is playing on us at this time. So there's a lot of things we have to unravel. And until we do that, when we go into any situation, particularly when it comes to the prison concept thing, we got to know all this has been planned
Absolutely.
for us and against us. And when our kids get caught up in it, not to excuse them, I don't use that word, but not even not to give an explanation, it's just to say we got to study beyond what we see. And I'm glad you're going about how you're going about it, at least that you're taking charge and you're taking notice of what that other folks may not know, because everybody's not as in tune as you are to the situation.
Right.
So you will open up a lot of people to maybe find a way, a reason to answer the question that our ancestors ask all the time: what you're going to do about it?
Yeah.
You certainly, piggybacking off what Ruby said, that's what makes this podcast so unique. But even more important, the timing. It is so important because it seems like we don't have a lot of time, but things are moving so rapidly.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
they
And
are.
AI and social media are just more or less not good right now because our children are on it and they're hearing a different message.
Yeah.
And they're manipulating our children psychologically through that. But I just wanted to say that based on what you said, you don't know how important your contribution and your work is.
Yeah, very.
I'm telling you, we need more of that, and we need more of what Ruby's doing. And because we have to get to our children. And the reason I say it's so important and the timing is so critical, because up until just a little while ago, we looked to the same people
Yes.
that oppressed us.
Right.
To somehow think that there might have been some good ones among the bunch. And there is, don't get me wrong.
There is.
But at the same time, you got to look at their cause. Just like I know some of the best pastors in the world, okay? But they're still, for them, they put their causes first. So we have to take, we have villagers have to take our children close. We have to teach them. We have to talk to them. Believe it, it will sink in. Maybe not immediately, but we got to keep talking. We got to keep writing. We got to keep doing what Ruby's doing. We got to keep saying it to them and letting them and be straight up and honest with them. And that's what I love about Pastor
Yeah.
Quick.
We're going to come back to our guests, but at the meantime, I want to see my villagers. They know I like to recognize them and respect what I know their time is important, but let me see who's on in the village today. Let me see Joy Jackson all the way from California. Joy, it's always good to see you. Good afternoon, everyone. Rashida Johnson, Sheila Bird, Robert Cabbage, we on deck. Dina Robinson, old Ruby Shires and family. I'm listening. Bring it up a little bit. Noam, bring it up, back up a little. Yeah. Joy Jackson, and someone else was. Okay. We appreciate you all checking in on us. We're trying to bring the message to you that we
Yes.
know that's important
So
for all of
important.
us. We are always conscious of the situations, like what my guests bringing in now about young people, not just hers, but youth in general. I'm sure we all can
Awareness.
relate to it.
Absolutely.
And we got to stay on top of the situation that because our young people,
Their lives depend on it.
yeah,
Their future.
and they are confused.
I did want to add one thing that Cole is now 23.
Okay, I
God.
was going
Is
to ask you how it
Is he
was.
involved in the
He
organization?
He will be.
I
Okay.
assume it
There's a lot. He is watching me.
Okay, hi Cole.
And-
Bless
and-
you.
and he's also watching to see how this. He knows what this is all about.
Mhm.
He's just saying, you know what, just let me know when you need me,
Okay,
because
that
he is
sounds
more than willing to speak to not just the young
And that's
people.
what it's going to
It's
take.
going to take, because he's lived
He
it.
lived
Mhm.
He has experienced it. He is
Yes.
still living it.
it.
Yes.
He has. I call them, yes. Some of them are his brothers.
Mhm.
Some of them have been released,
Mhm.
and they did not necessarily have the same type of support
Right.
that Cole has received.
Mhm.
And so at times he's like, I can't be their therapist.
Right.
I don't even, half the time I don't even know what to say to them. And I said, what I told him, I said, you have to encourage them.
Right.
Encourage them
Mhm.
to want to do better, to not go to the
Right.
streets.
Give them
Right.
hope,
Give them hope.
because a
Yeah.
lot of them don't have the hope.
So
Yeah.
what he says to me, he says, Ma, they are waiting for you there. And
Okay.
so
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I look at it and I'm saying to myself, okay, God, this is what you want me to do. This is
Look
what
at
I'm going to
God.
do.
And
Yeah.
that's
And I am going to see, with the help of all of the people that have come to decided that this is also important to them,
yeah.
that it can come to fruition and that we can make a difference in these young people's lives.
Yes, definitely.
You
And
have more children?
I have one that
Yes.
is 31,
okay.
and he's also a chef.
Okay.
So he lives in New Jersey.
Okay.
Whether or not he's going to make the move to Georgia at some point, I don't know. Even for myself, I will move when it's time.
Right. Mhm.
And because everybody's like, when are you moving? When are you moving? When he says it's time,
Right.
Okay.
That's what's important.
it will be
People
time.
don't realize that.
Yeah.
That's what's
and
important.
and also, you don't want to move without there being provisions set in place.
That's
Right.
I don't want to go there without means. I want to make sure that the timing is right. Everything is about timing.
Timing.
I do not mistake the people that I've met along the way, including you ladies,
Mhm.
as it being something by chance. This is
Right.
all God's
Oh,
divine
God's
intervention.
doing. Yeah.
I also know that the people that he has put or has entrusted or has asked me to be on this board, these are all people that are familiar with the court system, that are ready to do this. They understand that this is a faith-based organization and that it will be run accordingly. We want to give these young men an opportunity to straighten out their lives
Yes.
and to give them something to hope for.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes. This is so fantastic.
One of the most important thing too, another important thing is we got to make sure our children, we too, but our children particularly know their history. You know, that's how Malcolm X changed. That's how a
Absolutely.
whole lot of other folks changed.
Yeah.
That's how the whole Nation of Islam, many of those folks who are already, once they learn about themselves,
There's-
it's something about knowing who you are.
That's right.
It
And
is-
being
Pride,
proud of
identity.
it.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
right.
Knowing
We
who
want
you are
them
and
to
be
be
so proud of it.
Because once we do that, these young men,
You're unstoppable, no matter
and
what
they will
experience.
also be take pride in the types of young women that
Exactly.
they connect
That's
themselves
also
with.
Exactly.
important.
Also
And
important.
then we will, hopefully it will alleviate some of the babies being born sooner than they need to be. But we
Yes.
need these young men to love themselves.
That's
Exactly.
right. That's what's
Exactly.
important.
And the
Because they
only
can't
way you're
love
going to
anyone
love
else.
yourself is for you know who you are. If you know that you're God's child and not
Yes.
someone who was created or the image of by someone else, then you can go forward with trying to be that person that you know you are.
That's
But if
right.
you have been bombarded with feeling that you're the worst of the worst, that you know matter,
right.
you go in that direction,
Because
particularly
that's
as a
what
young
they're told.
person. That's what they're told.
Right.
And the way they're taking books out of our schools now,
Yes.
our libraries, and a reason. If they were not important, they would leave those
They wouldn't
books.
be attempting to remove
Exactly.
them.
So that should tell us they are extremely important for our children to begin to know
Their
themselves.
greatness,
The greatness.
that lies inside
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
They
Be-
are great.
Yeah, because getting back to my children book, one of the things that sort of not forced me, it's been in a 20-year type of thing going on when my little nephew was just maybe 8 or 9, and his sister and him had come up, and I tell you about
The story of the book.
yeah,
The
sister and I
inspiration
had come
behind
up and was with their godmother, my sister Rose. Her name is Rose also. And they were sitting with the godmother, and the godmother asked them how were they doing in school, and my little nephew said, "Good, I'm doing real good." And the little sister, not school age even yet, she said, "No, you're not. The teacher said you." He said, "Must you tell everything?" So
Wow.
that came to me that showed what it means, because after a while, she began to think her name was Must. She was such a tattler.
Yes.
So she often
small.
heard the name, must you tell everything?
Mm-hmm.
And so I put that in place to say, when I wrote the book, I was thinking about the N word, that I tell our children, stop using words
Yes,
like that,
yes.
particularly that one. That just
Yes,
irks my soul.
derogatory, Yes.
And shows you what a word can do to you and how it can affect you
Yes.
if, in fact, you are not careful.
Mm-hmm.
So the title to my book, What's in a Name, means that there is something to the name. One of the reasons I was saying to you is that if our young people begin to know who they are, a lot of our particularly our young men, just really carelessly use that word
Yes, that
indiscriminately, the N-word and everything, which reflect on who they really think they are.
Right.
You know,
right.
and if
it
you
is
think
not
you
a
are-
term of endearment.
It's not a term of endearment. And then when you use the word so much, this little, my little niece I was telling you about, when she got school age and went to school, and the mother dropped her off, and she went into the classroom and she told the teacher her name was Must. She heard it so much. Must you tell
So
everything?
cute, isn't it?
That
Uh-huh.
is funny.
And so when the mom came to pick her up, she said, "Wow, no, she asked the teacher, I'm coming for my child. Her name was Chastity." She said, "I don't have a Chastity here." She said, "Yeah, I dropped her off this morning," being frantic. You can imagine a mother being frantic. I dropped her off here this morning. At that time, Chastity came from behind wherever she was, saw her mom, and she
Right.
came. She said, "There's my baby. That's Chastity." The teacher said, "Well, she said her name was Must."
Is that too cute?
So it tells you that it's all in a name, and if you keep hearing a name long enough, you might just decide that's who you are.
That's who you
So
are.
I tell our young people, stop using that N word, and some of them make the idea that it's a word of endearment. It's nothing endear if you knew your history. That's why
Right.
I say it's so important for our young
Right,
people
yes.
Right.
to
And
know
why
their
we have
history.
to change that whole narrative,
narrative.
and
Yeah.
educate them.
Yeah.
Which brings me to my baby.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Which,
are we going
now
to
I
have to
have
maybe
to-
have her son in some point
Yes,
come
we're
to
going
talk
to
with them?
definitely, and definitely have you back also.
Oh, definitely.
But I want to tell you, speaking of history, my babies, William A. Cap, is a school started by your sister, right?
Yes,
Started by her sister.
me and my sister.
Her and her sister.
And
And
ancestor now.
yes,
she passed away last
right,
year.
and that's important too, to have that ancestry school going. I have great honor and respect for her doing that. I'm thinking
Yeah.
of doing it in my own family.
Yeah.
Getting them together.
Homeschooling, because it happened. Let me just say this quick, a little story behind that. That came about when that crazy governor of ours in Florida, I'm a Floridian, I've been away for a long time. Governor DeSantis came up with the idea that we were brought over here to be taught something, silly, And when he said that, I said, y'all children need to be homeschooled too, to the extent that when they leave out of the home, they will know some things that's not true.
Yes.
And so that's how we started the Williams Academy, so we can at least educate them to who they are, the truth of who they are,
That's
not
right.
from what they are hearing from DeSantis and other folks.
Right.
And particularly when this crazy man in the White House come out with all this crazy stuff, we need our people to be very grounded in who they are and understand it clearly that everything else is just hogwash.
Right.
So that's how that school just going.
And I don't think that we could possibly. I know that we go to church on Sunday and we have Bible study during the week, but I do not believe that we can completely leave it to the church to fix everything.
Absolutely.
Right.
Because they can't.
They can't fix
Absolutely.
everything.
That's
Exactly.
what Ruby's saying. We
Yeah.
all
We
have
all
to
have a responsibility.
find our
Yes.
gifts right.
Find our gifts.
Right.
Yes.
And
And-
that's part of being a responsible citizen
Yes.
also.
Yeah.
But we were never taught these things. As
Yeah.
a matter of fact, they were deterred.
Right.
And
Taught
we were
against what.
deterred from all of this.
That's right.
We
That
got
That's
is
just
so
like
true.
they didn't teach us banking in school and all of that. That was selectively taught.
My best friend, and we talk just about every other day. She is also on my board, and we have known each other since we were 6 years old.
Oh, wow.
But we didn't reconnect until we were freshmen in high school. But since then, she's my best friend. But what we have noticed is that she and I came from two totally different worlds. Okay, and there was things that she learned in her immediate household that I didn't learn.
Right.
And then there were things that I learned in my household that she never
So
learned.
you understand me and Trish.
So
It's a compliment.
it's we complement each other. We constantly speak to each other about God and about what our roles and our responsibilities are. But
very good.
at the same time, it's like we have to be able to honestly listen to each other. Listening is key. And getting our children to understand that listening at times is more important than talking.
That's
Yes.
right.
To be able to listen and to listen to your fellow man,
Yes.
but also to be able to understand we need to start teaching them the things that are not going to be taught in school,
Right.
Right.
like our history.
Right.
But they also need to understand what it means to manage money.
Right.
Yes.
And even going further now into AI, it's going
Right.
to be
That's why that
detrimental
dialogue
to
is
their
important.
lives.
Yes.
That they have a clear understanding
Yes.
of money and how to manage it, how to take care of a family,
Yes.
understanding what their roles and their responsibilities are as young men,
Right.
and giving them the courage and the opportunity also to speak. Because I grew up
And you didn't get a chance to
Be
speak.
be heard. What it is? Be seen,
Seen
not
and
heard.
not
Not heard. Right. Right.
and we have to understand now that yes, some of those old adages, the way that we were brought up, are so wonderful and significant
in a different
and about our
time.
culture.
Yeah.
But these young people,
Yes. Different time.
and they know things that we probably
Right.
will never even know.
Exactly.
I don't understand my son's music,
Right.
Me either.
and I don't. There's certain things that the games that they play,
Yes.
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
consumes their lives.
Yeah.
But they have to. If we don't show them now,
Yes.
they're going to be completely unprepared
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
for what's going to happen 30 years from now when we're not
Absolutely.
even here.
It's
Right.
deep. It's deep.
It's very
It's what the psychologists call a conditioning. That's why we have to teach them to let go of those things
Yes.
and to be able to see that that's not going to get them to the life that they want. As a matter of fact, it deters the life that they want totally unaware. We do things unconsciously because we're conditioned and we don't even realize. It's so natural to where we say, as she was saying, we use the N-word, you say, consume tight, or God bless you, or bless you when you sneeze. You never even think about it.
No.
And so that is the way we are, because we're creatures of habit. So having said that, I wanted to just say two things. One about the education of the children and what we're doing here at this podcast. And this is very important, and you know, and take note of this, that it is so critical that what we do is we bring the young people on board.
Okay.
And Ruby started in Africa. When I came a year ago, they were starting in Africa.
Oh,
so
wow.
they took a trip through Africa virtually, through Africa, and they all had a script to discuss, have a dialogue amongst them and their peers, okay, via the podcast, and to educate adults, because a lot of things the adults didn't understand either, about who they were, where they came from. And this was a way for them to know that they came from greatness.
Yes,
and
yes.
all the things that they can do. Because just as the negative traits carry over, so do the positive ones.
Exactly. You
And
just
they're
said
not
it.
necessarily seen, displayed, but the problem is all the positive examples that we would have in our lives, this world wanted you to think that they were few. They were limited to Martin Luther King, or they were limited to another famous person. No. Every man has a gift that God has put into him.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
And they could work that gift with the help of God to even get them there faster and get to that life that they were intended to have. So that being said, my babies, we've given them a vacation,
Okay.
and we will be presenting again. And we will be starting in the book that we were going to read.
The Miseducation of the Negro by
Miseducation of Black Folks by
John
Carter Woodson.
Carter Woodson.
And that's
Okay.
what we're going to do. And because there's a lot of information in those books that we could break down to their level so that they would understand it, and then understand why these books are written. They are legacies left to
Absolutely,
them.
yes.
And I've read them. A lot of adults have read them, but we, like you said, we need that dialogue. We need to sit down with our children and talk to them about it and
We
get them
need to know what it is
interested.
that they're thinking.
Yeah.
Yes,
And we want them to be able to feel comfortable
with sharing.
with
Yes.
sharing.
Yes.
And that's an issue as well.
Yeah, vulnerability is definitely an issue, especially when it comes to Black men. Definitely an issue. But
Yes.
you understand why.
Oh, I
yeah, that's right.
completely
First, we have
understand
to
why.
understand the reason why,
Right.
because it's not just because that's part of their nature.
Right.
No, that's not necessarily DNA.
Part of
This
your
is something that's been
defense.
implanted
Defense
in
mechanism, yes.
and it's something that has been implanted, a way to think, a way to feel about yourself,
Yeah,
a way to
defensively,
respond to each
yes,
other.
yes.
All this is, it's come with the territory of 200 years plus additional 200 years
Right.
of brainwashing and what did Malcolm X call it? Bamboozling and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
So we got to take that into consideration because it means a lot. And until we get that straight, sometime we're going to have our children going off a little bit helter-kelter,
Right.
But if once they learn who they are, it changed. I've seen it. It changed people
Right.
in terms of how they respond to the society.
Because you make them aware, like she was saying. And the most important thing you said, and we're going to let you have the last word, that support system is so important. And it doesn't only come from one place. So what we have to do and what we're doing here is building a support system virtually that they can reach out to,
Yeah.
And that's a good thing to write a book about.
Oh, okay,
All
you're
of those
right.
connections.
Right,
No,
that's
she's the best book writer I ever
No,
seen.
she's,
Of all those connections
she
to
promised
let
that she got a
them
book in
know
her, so she got to write about
that
it.
there's people.
Yeah.
support
Okay.
system out there.
I am just so pleased that you came on.
Yes.
We
Thank
need this
you.
kind of
We gotta have her
information.
back.
Got to have your back because our people in dire need of knowing that there's assistance out there, that we are much involved. I guess we are predominantly, majority, more of us, I'll say that way, are involved in the legal system than anyone else. And it's not because it's naturally so, it's that's the way the system got us. So, and we have to learn that first. After having learned that, then we got to learn the folks like you who to get to contact so we can get together on how
Yes.
to
Absolutely.
handle this stuff.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay.
It was wonderful again having you.
Thank you for
Okay.
having
Yes,
me.
it was
Thank
wonderful.
Thank you.
Villinger, we'll see you next Monday.
Yes,
it's so good
we're
to have
back.
you and good have a great new
Yes.
year.
Okay.
I don't know why I got to take lip. What's up, DJ?
No, you don't do it that. You don't have to push it like that. I think he does it up here.
Bring it right here. That's it.
Don't fire this time.